my gosh, I am so excited. Welcome, welcome,
Yes.
welcome.
Hi,
Happy,
Happy
everyone.
New Year.
yes, Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
This is our first show of the year, and oh my gosh, it feels so good to be back on
Yes,
air,
it
especially
does.
to be with my co hosts, Olivia and Ren. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I enjoy you. I love you girls. And our
Same here.
producer, Ish, we are back on top. Yes, here we go.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. We are starting out with um, focusing in on our past as far as 2022, where we are today. We're in the first week of 2022 in January. And within this whole week, a lot of different things have happened for me. I'm not sure about everybody else. How has your week been so far, Olivia? What about you, Ren, since the new year? Have you set any new goals or did anything? Or, your New Year's resolution has what have you been up to so far?
Well, I'll jump in. I'll say I am not a resolutions person because as I went to church this morning, my pastor said, "Why is the gym so full? Can we get to February 1st already so all of those people who are faking it will go ahead and leave?" So I'm not a resolutions person, but I'm definitely a goal setter. And throughout this presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the goals that I'm setting for myself and hopefully helping you guys to, set a couple of goals for yourselves so that we can meet them. We want goals that are attainable. How about you, Ren? What are you thinking for 2023? Wow.
Well, it's like sliding right in. It was such a smooth transition. In the first month, I always visualize, meditate, try to see what this year is going to be about. Chose my word for the year. And
Mm.
still, how can I say it? Still humming off of the holiday time that I had with my co hosts. We had a beautiful holiday time where we were able to just get together and
Right.
hang out. And,
Yeah.
I want more of that in 2023.
Yes.
More positive relationships, more hangout time, more fun, fun, fun. Yeah. So we're ready.
Yeah, as we start out, before I go on, I want to say this is 60 years and beyond. What's
Hmm.
next? Yes. And we always give shout outs to people who are reaching that famous milestone. Remember, you're not at the
Yeah.
end, you're at the beginning. And I would love to give a shout out to someone who's very special to me. His name is Lorenzo. That's my younger brother. He is a fantastic master shoe craftsman. And he has a
Wow.
business. Yes, he has a business on 8th Avenue called Rostel. It's a shoe repair shop. But not only that, I mean, in terms of honing down, he's well known throughout the city for his craft. And I just want to say to my brother, I love you. Thank you for all that you do. And I am
Oh,
so
yeah.
proud and happy to be your sister. Happy birthday, happy milestone. This is just the beginning. It's not the end. It's not time to retire. Keep going. It's so much more that you can do. He's also an artist. And
Oh.
I mean, seriously, he's really good. And on the next show, we'll put up some of his artwork. I love you,
Hmm.
Lorenzo. Yeah, he's awesome. I love you and happy birthday. And I hope this is the best year
Oh.
ever.
Yes.
Wow.
Right. Wow.
If there's anyone else out there who's celebrating their 60, I don't care if it's 50, even if it's 40, if you're celebrating a milestone in your life, shout out to you. If you know someone, put their name in the chat so we can give them their acclamations, please. And it's always it's always wonderful to be recognized and to feel
Yes.
appreciated and that someone knows that, this is my day. So that birthday is my day. But just moving
Mhm.
along, we're going to talk about 2023 and how do we start the new year? Sometimes you may not have known how you want to start the new year. And so we came up with this idea, start healthy. One of the goals that I had a couple of years ago was to put out a magazine. And I wanted to put out a magazine highlighting people, extraordinary, ordinary people who do some amazing things. And so Start Healthy is the onset for that magazine. Believe me, it's coming out one day this
Yeah.
in the future. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about what's important at the beginning of every new term or every new year. Take the time to reflect. Take the time to refocus and to get recharged. A lot of times you've set goals and things that you want to do for the year, and when you come to the end of the year, you may not have reached those goals. And so I say to you, the new year is not necessarily new, even though it is, but it's an extension of some of your old ideas and some of the things that you may have wanted to do that you may not have accomplished that you still have time to do. So, today we're going to talk about reflecting. Reflect on 2022. Reflect on the things that you wanted to do and that you may not have accomplished, and reset yourself. Start all
Mm-hmm.
over again. Get back to the basics. Also, refocus. Get
Mm-hmm.
focused, because sometimes you're doing so many different things at one time, you may lose focus of important things, or your priorities may get out of order. And so the main thing is, at this time of the year, reset, reflect, refocus, and then recharge yourself and launch. Take a look at this magazine that we put out, and I hope that you know you get it. Okay, it's free. All you have to do is send an email to jpmaribel@gmail.com, and we will send it out to you. Okay, as well, as long as supplies last. A lot of people got them already in the mail during the holiday, and we want to make sure as many people that want it can get it. And so, Ish, if you want to put up that video, love for people to. As we close in on the end of 2022, and even now after the very first week of 2023, let us not think of 2022 as an ending, but more so think of 2023 as an extension to the next phase of new beginnings. As you reflect on 2022, we ask that you celebrate your accomplishments, your goals, and your successes. Reminisce on your joyful moments that you shared with your family, friends, and colleagues, and even strangers. Most of all, contemplate the goals you want to achieve in 2023. Think about how you want to start and continue from this point on, using your resolutions as your guide. Don't give up on them. As the host of 60 Years and Beyond, What's Next, Olivia, Renee, and I welcome you to start the new year in great health. We ask that you fuel your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Your health is your wealth, and that contributes to your longevity. So walk in the spirit of health. Cheers to 2023, starting healthy. And remember, your health will explode your wealth. Start healthy. The Start Healthy magazine is a comprehensive magazine that you can get for free at jpmaribel@gmail.com. Again, jpmaribel@gmail.com. The magazine consists of various articles that target in on fitness trends, adventurous travel ideas, wholesome recipes, and brain health, as well as your mental wellness. We start out by talking about your organs. Do you realize that you have 78 organs, and that's not including your bones? And inside the magazine, you will see how to take care of each part of your body. This is a fascinating article, and it talks about wellness of each part from head to toe. Like we said, wholesome recipes, travel ideas, and remember to join us on 60 Years and Beyond, What's Next,
Dates and times will be announced. Look forward to seeing you. And thank you for a wonderful time.
Awesome. I love that magazine when it came in the mail. Oh my goodness. I was thrilled. It was so exciting to see 60 years and beyond on a cover on the back. Oh my goodness. The inside flap. I was thrilled. Such an honor. So Yvonne, big kudos to you for really working on that and getting us a little bit more visibility. And that's what we're looking forward to for 2023. I want to also tell you guys, I saw, hey, Ma'at, thanks for joining us. Hi, Chris. Hey, Milligram.
Happy New Year, Ma'at.
Yeah, we're so happy to see some of our regulars coming back. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate seeing everyone here.
Yes. Welcome, Lorenzo.
Yeah, thank you, Lorenzo. And Judy, I see both of you there. Thank you. Thank you, Milagros. It's good to see you again. She's always there. Happy New Year, and I'm hoping everything is starting out for the best. Always remember, think health, think health. Hi, Chris. How are you? Thank you for chiming in. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, that's my nephew. It's wonderful when you have your family that support the things that you do. Yes, yes, yes. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year. Yes. Okay, the next thing that we are going to talk about too, that's very, very important. Once you get yourselves, in the mindset for resetting and starting up again and honing in on the accomplishments and what you want to do for the new year, one of the main things that you have to do before going forward is take care of your mental health. That's very, very important. Take care of your health. Health is your wealth. And it doesn't make sense to get older and your health start to fail and you're not able to take care of yourself. Start while you're young. I say that to a lot of my students. When you take care of yourselves in your 20s, your 30s will reflect your 40s and your 50s, etc. You take care of your health while you're young so that when you get older, you won't have as many problems. There's a lot of things that's out there that that you have to think about in terms of what should you put in your body. Educate your children, educate yourself, and just do the right thing for your body. And when the time comes for you to really need it, it will work for you. Okay. Ren is going to start on mental health, which is very, very important as well. Your mindset, how you're thinking, and just having, healthy mental health. Yes. Go ahead, Ren.
Yes, mental health is very important. And I want to start off by talking about knowing our bodies, because when it comes to mental health, we're all different. We all deal with pressure based on different things that have happened in our lives, based on the type of environment that we live in. It could be easygoing, peaceful, happy, or we could feel like we're in a pressure cooker. You know yourself. And when you find yourself getting anxious or stressed out, the two of the most common terms we hear about, notice your breathing. Because a lot of times when we get caught up in the moment, we shallow breathe. Take time to relax in those moments and breathe from your belly. Do deep belly breathing. Also, I wanted to mention, think about the way you talk to yourself, self-talk. This year is a year to choose you. You may not have gotten a chance to do a lot of things in 2022, but you can start the 2023 off right with your mental, choosing you, honoring your boundaries. Another thing about mental health is staying in the present. Anxiety is often future oriented. It's about what we think is going to happen in the future, but it hasn't happened yet. According to a clinical psychologist in Mill Valley, California, she said 85% of the things that people worry about never happen.
Wow.
85%. She is also the author of the stress proof brain, if you're interested in that. So we need to look at changing our self talk. We need to look at how we breathe and relax and calm down. And also remember to stay in the present. I don't care what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. Seize the moment, live in the moment, and celebrate and enjoy life right now. And you may be surprised the more you do that, because a lot of times our emotions and the energy that we have in the present moment can affect what happens in the future. So stay up, and in this year, choose you and take care of your mental.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I heard you talking about breathing, and something really came to mind is that when you were talking about belly breathing, it reminded me of labor, right? They wanted you to not focus on the pain and on the anxiety and on the pressure, but just really concentrate on your breathing. That's what came to mind. I mean, so
Yeah,
that's really great information. That's just so important that you can just change your mindset, right? Change one
yes.
thing, and all of a sudden you can be in a slightly different place. You also mentioned something about changing your self-talk. So when I hear
Mhm.
that, I think about stop thinking negatively, but rather start thinking positively about yourself. Write down some things that you're happy about with yourself, and then
Mhm.
focus on those things. So if it's your kindness, if it's your joy, if it's your free spirit, then focus on those things rather than
Absolutely.
negative things, because we
Mhm.
all think so negatively about ourselves in our head. Don't be in a room by yourself, okay? Self has a tendency to just creep in and take over. So, Ren, I'm so glad you brought that up. And then I love that you said stay in the present, because you know what? When I think about the present, I think about here and now. Okay, let's not look at
Mhm.
the rearview mirror. The past is exactly that. It's in the past. We can remember it, we can learn from it, but it's in the past. Let's see
That's
how we can
true.
Yeah.
autocorrect, how we can move forward on some really positive notes, and kind of go there with confidence and grace and peace and all of those things that we send. We send these great wishes out to people during the holidays. We wish you prosperity and good health. So we want to also embrace that for ourselves as well. So just kind of
Right.
capitalizing on some of the things that you said, I really want to keep that as my focus too for 2023. So thanks for sharing that. Mental health is
You're
really urgent.
welcome. Yes.
What
Urgent.
what I heard you say is about the stress and the worry. A lot of times we worry about things that really don't have need to focus on.
Mhm.
Another thing that I think is important in terms of mental health, and it's very prominent now, is to don't be afraid to see a therapist. Sometimes people have this stigma as if, talking to someone to help you work through some of the things that's in your mind um, will make you, appear as if something is wrong with you. Yes, there's a lot of things. Sometimes people are walking around with traumatized, as adults from their childhood, from their past, from some, traumatizing experience that they may have encountered. And it wears and tears on you after a while. So don't be afraid to seek out help. Talk to someone. You know, um, People are professionally inclined. Your psychologist, and there are doctors that are there to help you work through. And mental health is a big issue now, with a lot of things that have taken place over the past couple of years as far as the pandemic. And even prior to that, it's out there. Don't be afraid. Yes.
Thank you for saying that. And I'll be the first that before, most of you know that I am recently remarried. And one of the things that my current husband said to me before we even got married was, "Hey, let's go see a therapist." And I looked at him like he was speaking a foreign language. Okay. Like a therapist, we don't even have any problems. This is the fun stage. But one of the things he said, he goes, "You know what? Let's talk about those things that really impact us." So very important that we focus on some of those things. And we did. And we found out as we went to the therapist, because it was a must before we got married for him. And as we went to the therapist and talked about it, I realized we had some other things. We were so in the moment enjoying all the fun stuff that we weren't paying attention to some of the underlying issues. So really
Hmm.
encourage people, really come to see it. And I love what you said, that this life is birthing the next reality. So we need to
That's true.
set that example. We need to be those people that everyone wants to look at, to be able to say, yes, you know what, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. So important. So important. So yeah, I agree with everything that you just stated right there, Yvonne. Really good information.
And something else Ren said is about setting your boundaries. A lot of times people may impede on your boundaries. They um, want to pour their problems on you as if you're, someone that can solve the issue. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But the thing is that sometimes you take on stresses of everyone else, and it's piled upon the stresses that you have. And so it's important that you learn to set the boundaries. Hey, and not feel bad if it's I can't do this right now. Let's talk about this later, because right now I need to have some sense of peace, or a sense of, something within yourself to say it's too much.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Don't be afraid. Don't think, and if they care enough about you, they'll understand and won't press the issue. There's a time for everything, and it's not always the time. So set your
And
boundaries.
I wanted to interject also on that point because and say we change over time. Sometimes we change because we mature, and sometimes we change because we've had a life altering event that
Yes.
caused us to change. And I wanted to come back in and just reiterate about what you said about boundaries, and also about what you said about seeing a doctor, a psychiatrist, or psychologist. Because in June, I had a life changing event, being in a car accident,
Hmm.
and had some brain issues, had to be hospitalized, and had to go see all of these doctors. But see, I was previously in a life where people depended on me, people could call upon me. And
Hmm.
I've always been the type of person where I'm an open book. Okay, yeah, whenever you want to talk, whenever you want to do this and do that. But I was struggling mentally. I mean, I had slurred speech. I
Hmm.
couldn't formulate
Very nice.
words.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had to see a doctor, and I had to set boundaries,
Right.
because when those same people called, whether it was my children or whether it was my friends, I had to say, no, not right now. I will
Hmm.
get back with you, or just turn my phone off. Things happen to us in life. And, I'm happy to say, I feel like I'm back 100,
That's awesome. Yes.
again. Um, but I learned so much from that. And one of the things that I learned is how much we take the mental for granted.
Hmm.
You know, we take being able to speak for granted, being able
Yes.
to formulate words, or to contemplate and say, let me think about what I want to do, and to be able to get that back after losing it.
Mm.
I'm very, very uh, happy, and I'm very serious about honoring my boundaries, and I'm very much an advocate for mental health.
Another thing that's important as well, that I would like to say in terms of not just boundaries, is time.
Yeah.
Honor your time. That's very
Hmm.
important. And your time is your life.
Yeah.
And you have to think about who you want to share your time with. you know, Negative energies, you don't want that in your time. You understand? Sometimes things happen, and it sets you back. You open your boundaries, and negativity is there. So
Yeah.
think in terms of this year as a year of how am I going to spend my time? What's worthy of my time? Who is worthy of my time? Life is short. Here today,
Yeah.
gone tomorrow. And the way that it is over the past few years, here today, gone the next minute. You never know. And so you have to reflect on yourself, think about your needs, think about what you want, how you want to be perceived, and who you want in your space. Who do you want to spend your time with, and allotting time for other people. And forgive yourself and learn to forgive others. Okay. That's important too. And it helps a lot of times when you share that giving and that forgiveness and the love and everything, it releases a lot of energy, and it could release a lot of negative impressions that you may have that can cause mental illness, that can cause depression, that can cause the things that affect our lives. And so if there's anybody in the audience that has anything to say, please feel free to chime in. We would love to hear from you. It's not just a show, it's your show as well. Thank you, Matt. Yes, forgiveness is so important.
Forgiveness is important.
Yes, it unburdens the heart. Okay. Life goes on, it continues, and we have to learn to love and forgive. Positivity is a strong force, and it can heal a lot of wounds.
Yes.
To piggyback on something that you did say, though, a little bit earlier, Ren, was that you don't have to catch every ball that's thrown in your direction. It's okay to let a ball drop.
Yeah.
And it's a very small word with a lot of meaning behind it. So good for you for recognizing your boundaries and setting them. Good example for us as well, because sometimes we forget to set examples and boundaries. So this is really good stuff. So thanks.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're good.
Yes. And I guess I could say better than good, and which leads us to the next part of the show. I feel like I'm at the level of joy. What do we have to say about joy, Olivia?
Wow, what a pivot. I feel like I always get like that fun and exciting topic around the show.
Yes.
So, I have to first give out a couple of shout outs because I have a sister. Her name is Keita, and she hit that milestone of 60 in October. I have a very good girlfriend. We've been buddies for the last 30 years. Teresa Perry, she also hit 60. That was a big milestone. And then, of course, my cousin, Kim Babb, she just turned 60 on January 2nd. So shout out to all of you guys. I hope that, that 2023 and the big 6-0 just brings you joy, pleasure, and able to meet all of those goals that you're trying to hit, all those happy points, So what brings you joy? Man, I heard that Anita Baker is coming to Atlanta.
Really?
So, in February. I think it's Valentine's Day, okay?
Yes.
First song, what is it? We Bring You Joy. I mean,
yes.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about joy. I'm so excited about just having the opportunity to say something about that. First, I'm going to challenge my co-hosts. I won't put you all on the spot right this second, but I will definitely put you on full blast in another minute. If you can come up, because one of my segments is we're going to talk about our words, right? So, so I won't ask you every year, but I will ask you to throw out one or two words that describes each of us. And because I thought about this prior to the show, I thought about some things. And if I had to describe you, Ren, with one or two words of things that bring you joy, and that's what I'm really focusing on is the word that brings you joy. I think of your generosity and just how happy you got with your generosity. So I don't know if anyone on the show can see, but I am wearing this fabulous shirt that Ren got me over the holidays. Thank you, Ren. OMG, I love it. You should have seen her. She came out. The three of us got together for lunch unexpectedly, but planned and unplanned. And when I tell you, Ren showed up with a bag this big
with gifts.
In the store, in the restaurant with gifts, and she was just showering us with gifts on top of gifts.
Yeah, she's always giving.
It was a joyful moment. Another thing that I know brings you extreme pleasure and happiness, Ren, is your cat. Okay, those cats keep you entertained. They keep you calm.
Right.
She's right there, right?
sits at your foot waiting to be seen. Okay, I think she's a part of the show. There you go. She's a part of the show. There you have it. Look at the smile on Ren's face. Okay, that's the other thing that really brings her extreme joy. So I had to just kind of say that, because not to put you on the spot or anything, but and then as far as you, so Yvonne, when I think of you, and oh, one more thing, Ren, your poetry is the other thing
Awesome.
that brings you
Wow.
incredible joy and pleasure to your life. So,
Yeah.
I like to hear that. And when I think of you, Yvonne, I think of your creativity. It's nonstop. It just flows. It's not an
Oh my
ebb and a
gosh.
flow, but it is a continuous flow. That just brings you so much joy to be able
It
to
does.
come
Yeah.
up with the next thing that will improve
Mhm.
not your life, but everyone's life. So selfless. I love that about you. I
Thank
really
you.
admire that about you. And your family, to see the
Yeah.
success that your son brings, that as he becomes more successful, that just makes you smile. And of
Yes.
course, he's brought his legacy into the world, and he's given you some grandchildren. So
Yes.
I know that if I think of my
Mhm.
children, those are things that I know genuinely bring you guys
Joy.
joy.
Yeah.
Hopefully I hit it on the nose, but I thought about it. So I won't put y'all on the spot to tell each other and me what you think brings me and one another joy, but I will put you on the spot before the segment's over. So moving forward, I read this article. It's very cool. They talked about what brings us joy in our lives, right? And we think that it's luxury and money. Well, guess what? That is not the truth. The
Right.
things,
Yeah.
according to two doctors, and I wrote their names down because I really wanted to share this with you guys. Two medical doctors did some research, and they said the things that actually bring us joy are, um, and actually, well, I'll first give you the 5 tips of what brings us joy, which is expressing gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
surrounding ourselves with positive people. I
Mm-hmm.
like that one.
Yes.
Regular acts of kindness,
Yes.
Yes.
spending more time with family and friends, and spending money on experiences
Yes.
instead of things. So I want to touch on all of those really quickly, just so that you guys have a little idea. So, just for our listening audience, this information came from 2 different places: the Denver Health and Medical Plan, and
Mm.
also it came from Dr. James Fowler over at Harvard and Dr. Nicholas Christakis over at University of San Diego, which is coincidentally where my son graduated. How funny is that?
Ah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Really one of his professors. Okay. So when we talk about gratitude, well, what's gratitude? It's things that we're thankful for, things that we're grateful for, things that we appreciate,
Yes.
our acknowledgments, right? So what's an example? I wanted to give you guys like an example of gratefulness. So it is really writing down. A great way to do it is to write down things that bring you joy in the course of a day. Research shows that if you write down things that you plan to do the next day, if you do it the night before, you subconsciously think about it when you're sleeping, so that when you start the day, you
Mm.
start the day ready to go. So
Wow.
the same principle will apply. Think about the things that bring you joy in your life. Write them down the night before, so that when you wake up in the morning, you wake up in a joyful spirit. You're ready to roll, not roll out of bed, but just roll. You know what I mean? So I love that. Um, so here's another really good fact. They said that each person in your life that makes you happy can increase your happiness by 9%. So look at me.
Wow.
I have 3 people in my midst right now. I've got Ren, I've got Yvonne, and I have our producer in the back, our engineer special, Ish. So right there, my joy level has been increased by 30% just coming on and doing this show. That didn't even
Wow.
include my family members. Okay. So, and
Yes.
happy person. Okay. I got it going on today. All right.
That's awesome.
So think about it. We never see a person all doom and gloom when they're with people that make them happy, right?
That's
So
true.
keep that in mind as you're going through your moments and surround yourself with those people that can really help you. So that's my translation, is surround yourself with people who will make you happy.
Mhm.
Regular acts of kindness. Wow. So think
Mm,
about it. Research shows that spending money on other people bring you more pleasure than purchasing things for yourself. Because purchasing things for yourself could be done anytime once you have the
true.
means.
True.
But when you can purchase something and
For
gift
someone else, yes,
someone else, it is just brings you joy.
it
So
does.
keep doing that. Whenever that opportunity shows up, please do it, because I was showered with gifts when I got together with my I was smiling from ear to
Yeah.
ear. I kid you not. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing they talk about is spend more time with family and friends. You
Yes.
know, that's a given for me because I try
Mhm.
to hang out with the people that I love the most, and my family, they're at the top of my list. Put my
Yeah.
husband. We did a really funny thing at work. We did this. What makes us happy? What's the first thing that you see in the morning? And this was, we were at like a luncheon or something, and I said, the first person I see in the morning is my husband, and he makes me smile, even if he's asleep. He still makes me smile. So
That's awesome.
surround yourself with people that really make you
Mhm.
happy. So hang out with your
Mm-hmm.
family and friends. Hang out with your, and not everybody is family, right? Sometimes you
Mhm.
got family, and then you have relatives, right? So
Yeah.
I want to hang out with my family. I don't really want to
Right.
hang out with the relatives. I want to hang out with people who really bring me extreme joy. So keep that in.
Yes.
The other thing they talked about is spend money on experiences instead of
Experiences.
things. Man, I wrote some things down. I saw that and I thought, so what do I enjoy? You guys all know I love to travel, right?
Mhm. Me too.
So when you're traveling, think about, if you're a traveler and you're a foodie, experience the food in the area that you're traveling in.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
If you're a traveler and you like the water like me, man, rent a speedboat.
Mhm.
Get on a cruise line. Do something that will keep you in that space that you really enjoy. Do that, experience that thing. Take a pass on yoga,
Mhm.
or I should say, take a pass on shopping and take a yoga
Mm-hmm.
class. And man, if you could do a hot yoga or you could do yoga with friends, even better.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Attitude
It's
of gratitude. Okay,
That's
I'm with
right.
you all the way, girl. That is what I'm talking about. Um, Take a bike ride. Be like Yvonne. This past time she wasn't bike riding in New York, but the time before that, she got on a bike and did, I don't know how many miles she cycled,
Oh my
because she
gosh,
did the
yes.
experience instead of going window shopping or buying little things on the street. She took a bike ride and she viewed the city, one block at a time. How exciting is
It was
that?
fun. It was
That's
fun.
like rich. That's an experience. So I will tell you, I love experiences, and my husband tells me all the things that he likes to do. So we just celebrated an anniversary in November. So
Oh,
guess what I did? I bought
wow.
1 hour horseback riding thing, because he likes the horseback. He likes all those activities. So I'm like, well, that's not for me, but he likes it. So I got him a 1 hour horseback riding lesson with a black owned farm right here in Georgia. Loved it,
Mm.
enjoyed it. Now he's like, well, I guess I have to go back, and he's taking his son. How fun. For one of his birthdays, I bought him a skydiving 2 years ago. He went skydiving
Whoa.
Oh wow.
right here in Georgia. There's a skydiving experience that you can do here. So I'm all about the experience. So when I read this, I was like, oh, right up my alley. They're talking language, okay? So think about those things, and I'll round things out by kind of talking about colors, because colors put us in different places, right?
Hmm.
So we talked about a color that makes us all happy. Yellow apparently is one of those colors that put us in a happy place. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if yellow always puts me in a happy place. It's a color I'm familiar with, but when they talked about yellow as warmth, optimism, energy, cheerfulness. And you know
Wow.
what? All of those things make sense when you think of the color yellow. They talked about pink, romance, compassion, comfort, femininity. Those are things that come to mind when people are surrounded by things that are pink. Red, alertness, energy, passion, powerful, linked to sexuality. I was like, oh, okay, learning something new here. Uh, celebration,
Mm.
financial security, and then of
Mm.
course, I gotta go with the black, right? So it's power, satisfaction, strength, authority. So it seduces our senses of sexiness. You know that little black.
Wow.
I'm like, man, I was
Wow.
thrilled. So, thank you, Yvonne, for challenging me and giving me the segment of, joy and colors and understanding that because, if you guys don't know, because Yvonne is our champion slash director slash leader, she kind of what
Gosh,
it
you all.
is that we are about to kind of discuss, gives us our segment so that we can kind of discuss
Hmm.
it in advance. And that was my segment. I was thrilled. I loved it. I learned so much through it.
Yeah.
And I'll end things out by saying that each year I challenge my family to choosing a word that they can embrace and that they can make their own.
Hmm.
So last year we each chose our words, and at the end of actually it was at the beginning of this year, we sat down at dinner time and we talked about our words. And I sat down with my 16-year-old in particular. I wanted to just point out to her how she embraced the word that she selected, and I gave her all of the examples that I saw throughout the year. Her word was consistent. I'm probably giving y'all way too much information. Hopefully her music is too loud and she can't hear me, right? But she chose the word consistent. And when I tell you that 16-year-old really embraced it and
Mm.
she tried her best to be consistent with as many things as she could. And I pointed them out and I saw her looking at me and really taking in the fact that I can rattle off like 6 or 7 different things that I saw she was consistent with throughout the year. So,
Mm.
I don't need a doctor to tell me what the data because I observed the data within my family and the data show that we embraced the words that we selected and we worked hard at being at embracing those words and following through. So my word is communication. And yes, I
Mm.
talk a lot, I'll say that. But
It's fine.
but with my communication, it wasn't for speaking better, being a better orator. It was really to be a better listener. It was to
Mm.
be a better communicator, to really say what I wanted to say, not what people wanted to hear. And that's really tough for me. I try to skirt it and make everything nice. So I challenged myself to be more honest with how I listen and how I speak to others. So there's a lot of different things in communication. So we're not going to just end it with that last year we did well with our words. This year we're pushing ourselves. We're taking on 2 words each,
Hmm.
and we're also going to continue working very diligently on really improving the words that we worked on last year, so that
Right.
we can continue to just like embrace the excellence and become better at it. So I'm going to challenge our listening audience to do the same. See how it works. It does not have to work for everyone, but apparently this is like a new thing that people are trying it. Give it a shot. See how it works.
Mhm.
See what happens. See what if you're able to, hold yourself accountable because
Mhm.
that's the only person that's really held accountable is yourself, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
it's true.
see what you can do with that. So that's my segment. I'm gonna zip it for a second. Oh no, I'm challenging my colleagues. So ladies, what word or words would you use to describe joy in myself and in one another that you're aware of?
Hmm.
I told
Okay.
you
I
advance.
will. I will start. The first word for you, Olivia, that comes to mind is honesty.
Hmm.
That's the first word. Uh, the second word that comes to mind um, is determination.
Hmm.
It's like whatever it is that you go after, you want, you're going to go after it until you get it. If it don't work one way, you're going to go around to the back door and then get it. You know, and you make it look easy. You know, you make it look easy. And I want to thank you, first of all, for your honesty. Sometimes it's blunt honesty, but it's honesty just the same. And because it can be healing.
Hmm.
You never can tell when other people are around a person and they just accept them for who they are. Um, and they're like, oh, that's just how she is. But with you, you're going to tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that. I'm not saying that may always work with everybody in your life, but for me, I saw it as a medicine. So I thank you for that. That's what I see in you. Yvonne, for you, um, genuine kindness, because I see your heart. You know, I just really see your heart. So I would say genuine kindness.
Wow.
And I also would say for you, vision.
Mm.
You know, you have things that you want to do. You know, like the magazine. You've been talking about that magazine for a couple of years and you got around to doing it. And you have some other goals that one of the ones that you recently reached that you've been talking about. This show, you know, having the opportunity to be here as your co-host on this show that you also had a vision for. So I see you as a visionary, you know, as
Wow. Thank
well. Kindness and visionary. So that's it.
you. Okay, and so it's my turn. Olivia, I'll start with you. Um, Purposeful and intentional.
Mm,
Yes, I mean anything that um, you want to do, anything that I mean, if there is someone who can see your vision and who will work at it, is Olivia. She's intentional. She goes for it and she'll pull out
mhm,
the pad and listen to everything that you have to say. Yes. And start breaking it down. Well, you can do this, you need to do that, you need to know, well, this doesn't make, okay, call
mhm,
me back in 10 minutes after this is all done. Like that. And so she has this ability to get you going. And she's very purposeful. She's like she pushed for things and she does things for a purpose. And that purpose is always to make sure that you're doing your best, to make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to do, that she's there and she's intentional. And it's like, I'm going to
mhm.
follow it through, even if you slack. So I love her for that. Like I said, we met years ago. She was a coach for me for business. And time had passed, and I had this vision. I think it was almost a year after I graduated, and I called her out of the blue, and it was as if no time had
Wow.
passed.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she told me, "What are you doing?" I told her what I wanted, and she was like, "Okay, this, and this. Call me back in an
Mhm,
hour." So, yes, awesome. I'm very grateful to know you, and very grateful to have you as a part of the show, and just for a
mm,
dear friend.
Yeah.
Ren, spiritual. You know, she's a very spirited person and very thoughtful. Um, Whenever you're down or you need help, or just not even that, just some type of guidance, you can call Ren, and she's there to fill you with her spirit of graciousness, and she'll talk to you and work you through a lot of the things that you may be going through as a coach, as a friend. And so I say, yeah, you're very spiritual person,
thank
and
you.
her poems are, gosh, they're out of this world, beautiful from the soul, and she's very
Mm,
heartfelt as well. So I surround myself with two awesome co-hosts. I have to say, our engineer, He is on it. I love him to death because he makes sure that we're at our
Mhm.
best. And
Yes.
he stays on top of whatever has to get done. I'm calling you.
Yes.
I need it now. Let's get it done. And I'm so grateful for him as well.
Yes. Thank you, Ish.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of the Mutual Admiration Society.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's it. All right. As we start to wrap things up, Matt, thank you for coming again, and everyone else that's out there. Um, feel free at any point to chime in, give any shout outs to anyone, but join us again. We will let you know when the next show will be. Okay. And take a look at our video for 2023 as we close out. We love you and look forward to us being
Yes. Yes.
together on
Yes.
this journey. Thank you for chiming in.